This is Wealthy Silva versus Rogerio Silva, 467820. Please state your name for the record.
Wealthy Silva.
Good morning, Your Honor. Leslie Cohen, bar number 6605 for the defendant, Rogerio Silva, who is present.
Thank you. This is the time set for status check of the reunification, dad's visitation, and this was all outsourced. I did order outsourced evaluation services from the last information the court received. That hasn't gone forward?
No, because I have no money to pay for it. I am now on food stamps. He has not paid child support or alimony, and the last payment was November. It's all with the DA now.
What is the cost?
Your Honor, my understanding, and I'm new to this case, but my understanding is that, first of all, Claudia Schwartz, the evaluator who the court chose, told my office that she doesn't do both things that were requested. She said she can do the custody eval, or she can't do the psychological evaluation, but she can do the custodial evaluation, and that not only did the plaintiff say that she doesn't have the money for the evaluation, but that she wasn't going to do it anyway. It wasn't just a matter of money. She wasn't going to do it. And as evidence of this, Your Honor, I mean, it's been more than a year since this man has seen his child.
Well, in my opinion, there's been significant parental alienation.
Your Honor.
So there has to be therapeutic reunification, and we tried that, and it was to the point where Dad was ready. I know you've been more than ready, but at the therapeutic point, it was set for visitation, and then, according to the reports I got, the child's just refusing to go. Now, I understand the history. I'm very familiar with the history. So, I know it's a cost. It has to be done. And I don't want to penalize Dad because he's been seeking a relationship with his child for a long time, and there's been roadblock upon roadblock put up. So, I'm open to suggestions, but I still think the reunification has to happen.
Right, and Your Honor, I'm somewhat at a loss myself, and I just would like to remind the court.
I just don't have free services available to me, or I would be ordering them.
I understand, but even if the services were paid for, I mean, we have a history of this case where, going back to when this child was 9 years old, there were problems, and this court said, I'm not letting a 9-year-old dictate what's going to happen. The child was made to have visitation with Dad. Things were going along fine, and then there were problems again. And what's happening is that now we've got the 12-year-old, who for a year ago was the 11-year-old, blocking things, and she's so enmeshed in Mom's life. Mom's so enmeshed in her life, and what's happening is that the 12-year-old's saying what's going to happen. Mom's not forcing her to participate. The counselor, Miss Weeford, Keisha Weeford, has reported that the child's own counselor is reporting that the child says there hasn't been abuse. There's no abuse going on.
Well, I don't think there would be abuse, and I don't think that the child would be in danger in Dad's care, which is why I ordered visitation. I know she's homeschooled. When is she done?
When is she done with what? Homeschool?
Yeah,
She's probably going to go to LVA. She's going to audition when she's 13.
So as far as her studies, does she take annual testing to complete her grade?
No, we stick with the Montessori and Waldorf systems, which is really no testing in Montessori. And that's what she's done since I was married to him, and he was a part of that. So for him to want to change that later is just inconsistent for the child.
I understand.
And, Your Honor, that has been a concern that has been raised by my client, that there hasn't been proper testing of the child to make sure the child is up to where the child should be.
Right. We've been in court many times over the testing.
Right, and we do.
And I said he could have her tested.
Right, and the child has never been properly tested, and that is an issue. Right now, we're mostly concerned with making sure that this visitation happens, but we do want to make sure that the child is tested, because if she does want to go to the academy, what's going to happen if she tries to go to the academy, but she can't do the math that a 13-year-old
Well, she has,
should be able to
she
do
has to be
in the
tested.
school district? Right.
So, Dad, over the summer, what are your plans?
And if he's working.
Well, that's just having my kid and
Okay. And you're remarried?
part of, no,
You're not remarried? Do you have a
No.
significant other in the home?
no, man.
Okay.
In my life, but not,
Okay, so are you alone in the home?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right. And what are your work hours?
Work hours is vary. It's based on clientele and people referrals, and so I'm self-employed, independent contractor.
Okay, so what visitation time are you requesting?
I'm okay with visitation that we had so far, including all the holidays and my weekends.
Okay.
I'm not asking any more than what I had before, Your Honor.
What I ordered
Having the
before?
degree?
Yeah, exactly. It was on decree. And then occasionally I always asked Mom if it's okay, get her for in the middle of the weekdays, to have a lunchtime or a dinner time or something like that, so it doesn't have a huge bridge in between weekends. So I want to be part of my kid's life more and more, not less and less.
I understand. Counsel, I'm looking for the decree. Tell me what it is in the decree.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I believe it was weekend time.
From Saturday 11 a.m. to Monday 10 p.m.
My client believes it's Saturday at 11 a.m. to Monday at
10 p.m. 10
10
a.m.
10 a.m., but I'll
So
That's
confirm
correct.
that.
That's
all
correct.
together.
Is that correct? Saturday at what time?
11 to Monday morning at 10 a.m.
Is that every weekend or every other?
That was
weekend?
every weekend.
Every weekend. So it's a total of 47 hours.
Saturday, 11 a.m. to Monday at 10 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It's, right, it's on page 3, line 22, every Saturday at 11 a.m. to Monday at 10 a.m.
Okay, Mom confirmed that. And where do you want the exchanges to be?
I'd like it in a public location. They tried Donna's house. The child wouldn't participate. Donna's house closed. I mean, my concern is we're just going to be right back here in a few weeks because the child's not going to get out of the car, as has happened every time for more than a year. And so the child needs, frankly, Mom needs to make the child get out of the car. The child needs to understand that she has to go to these visitations, and Mom needs to understand that she has to make the child participate in these visitations. So,
Are you available Friday?
I'm available every day for my child. You know.
Well, instead of starting Saturday at 11, are you available on Friday?
I can make it happen.
I'm envisioning her coming to court.
Awesome. I'm good with that.
And she's going to go. If she doesn't go,
I'm here to speak with you because I would like for her to get to speak with you.
she's going to go with Dad. And it's going to happen at the court. And if she doesn't go with Dad, you're looking at turning her over for the entire summer to Dad. You're the primary parent.
May I say something about Claudia
I
Schwartz?
want you to listen. You know,
'Cause that was a lie.
Okay.
That was a lie.
I have
A voicemail proving that I was happy to go to Claudia Schwartz.
I have issues with this child not going, and you definitely need to make her go.
There are reasons that she doesn't want to go,
Are you
and the
listening
court is
to
not
me?
listening to those reasons.
Are you listening to me?
I am.
She has to go for the weekends, or she'll go for the entire summer. That's an order. If she doesn't go for the weekend, he's going to get her until August.
Do you not find it interesting that he has not paid child support in over 5 months? He has never once reimbursed for medical or dental, so he somehow cares about his child, but has not paid for any of these things.
I'll address that separately. Okay? He's been trying for as long as I've been here to get visitation with his daughter.
I understand that. But I am listening to my child. I'm listening to her needs and her concerns and what is truly good for her. And any therapist
You may believe
could
that,
tell you that.
but you're very close to being incarcerated for contempt. I don't want to do that.
And he's not? For not abiding by the decree
I'm
with any
talking
of
to
this?
you. I need you to feel how important this is
I do know how important it is.
and the consequences of contempt. I don't want to put you in jail, but if you don't facilitate visitation, that's what's going to happen.
I have done what this court has asked me through visitation. I took her to Donna's house. I took her to the therapist. I did everything I was supposed to do.
Not quite. She's not going for visitation, and you're allowing that to happen.
Keisha Wyford suspended visitation.
I ordered visitation and exchanges at Donna's house
And I took her.
and didn't leave. You stayed there and allowed her to say she's not going to go. So you go to Donna's house
They
and you
questioned
drop her
her.
off.
They did whatever
You go-
they needed
Hold on,
to
be quiet,
do.
ma'am.
I'm talking.
Be quiet.
You go to Donna's house, you drop her off, and you leave. And she's going with Dad. End of story. You will be held in contempt. You will suffer incarceration. I don't want to do that. But I've taken every therapeutic step that I possibly can. I've worked with different therapists and different evaluators, and I understand that you don't have the money. So my hands are tied. I have to enforce the court orders. I have to. That's the law. So it's going to get tougher and tougher. I don't have a choice. I need you to understand that. I will have no choice. I don't want to do that. I want it to go smooth. But it's been one problem after another. And it's going to happen. So you will drop her off at Donna's house, and you will leave. Okay? You will pick her up.
Is that on the calendar?
On the calendar?
Yeah, there's like a couple days when Donna's house was in, I'm
They're
not sure if it's
open.
Friday or Monday.
They're open.
Can we make sure, I know they,
They do supervised visitation Saturdays at 11.
I know there's,
They're open Monday at 10.
I know there's a couple of days ordered by Your Honor that they're not open. I'm not sure. I can't remember what's the calendar.
I know because they're are they going to want to do orientation first or anything?
Well,
like
they've already
that?
closed their case. I'm going to have them reopen their case. So they've already done orientation. I don't know why they would make them do orientation
I don't
again.
either.
I will
I know
waive
that was-
orientation because they've already done it.
I know once he went down there, before I was on the case, he did go down there for something, and they were closed and for something that the court had ordered. So I just want to make sure we're not making like.
Well, I don't want to do that either. So if you go down there and register, let me know. I'm still on the bench for another hour and a half.
Both parties are ordered to go to Donna's house after the hearing.
Okay.
And he will have his visitation Saturday 11 a.m. to Monday at 10 a.m. And exchanges will be at Donna's house. And you'll just drop her off and leave.
So not, I'm sorry, you want it Saturday, not Friday? I thought you had said.
Friday.
I asked him if he was available.
He is.
I don't, well, you have to check with Donna's house when they're going to be available to do the exchanges.
Understand.
That was the visitation under the decree. Now, tell me about child support, sir. You have an
Trust
R
me.
case?
In my,
He called the defendant, or, I'm sorry, the plaintiff had said something to him about the DA's office. He called a couple weeks ago to the DA's office to ask if there was an open case. They told him there was not, so as far as we know, there isn't.
I don't see
But-
one.
Well, there
Did
should
you go
be.
to the child support division?
I did,
'Cause
on
she's on
Flamingo.
public assistance.
On Flamingo,
He
2
called
weeks
her.
ago, and I did
He-
not ask
Oh,
to him about it.
He does have some money for her. He changed banks, so he texted her yesterday, and we've got that text where he said, I need your bank information because I do have some money. He is behind. He does have some money. He texted her last night to say, I need your bank information. Her response, because I changed banks, her response was, you've had the bank information for 3 years. And he said to her in the text, and he's got it on his phone right now, I've got the information for you, or I changed banks, I've got some money. She didn't respond. So he's got some money, it won't get him completely up to date, but it will help.
Is he giving her cash today or a check today?
I didn't came prepared with the check.
He doesn't have it with him, but he will go and transfer the money today, as soon as he gets her bank information.
Do you have your checkbook with you?
I do.
All right, can
I'll
you
be
write,
happy to
write
give
down
him.
your routing number?
Yes.
There's a piece of paper there. Write down your routing number, the bank, your account number. Sir, don't lose that information.
Yes, ma'am.
It's private, it's confidential information.
No, and he's had it for 4 years. It's just when he changed banks, he didn't keep it. And as far as the claims about the medical expenses, they have a 30-30 rule. They have joint legal custody. She doesn't comply with the 30-30 rule. She doesn't comply with joint legal custody. So he gets bills out of the blue, but he has no way of knowing if this is for his child. They're for things like acupuncture. Why is an 11-year-old getting acupuncture? Why is dad not involved? He doesn't know about these bills. That was, and it's my understanding that was part of what the court was going to be determining. So it's not that he hasn't paid a medical bill ever, it's that these medical bills are in dispute.
Okay.
That was all through Family Wizard. I believe you have it in the pretrial memorandum.
So you have the bills and you don't have proof of payment, or what?
Well, we don't have, she didn't comply with the 30-30 rule,
Yes, I
and
did.
No
she's
discussion.
not complying with joint legal custody. She's not telling him before she's
I got
taking the
that.
child,
I
and
got
she's
that.
taking the child to things like acupuncture when she's 11.
I got that.
And there are things
She didn't
that they
provide
don't
proof of
match.
payment?
Never had acupuncture.
Right.
She's never had acupuncture?
No,
It was acupuncture.
she's never had acupuncture.
No, it's
I'm sorry, chiropractor. Chiropractor. That's my fault. Chiropractor. Why is an 11-year-old going to a chiropractor, and why is dad not part of these
Are
decisions?
you
to
providing
take the
proof of
child?
payment?
I am. Proof of payment. Yes, I through Family Wizard, which I've submitted through pretrial memorandum, all receipts, all times that I submitted it through Family Wizard, that I paid with a credit card or I paid cash, the receipts, everything is there.
All right, and what's the amount you're alleging is owed?
You know what? I'd have to look at the papers again myself. I think it's $2,000 to $3,000.
And we allege there's double dipping, and there's just problems with those bills.
I understand it may be in Family Wizard, but is there a schedule of arrearages for medical expenses?
It's all in the do you have the
Pretrial
pretrial memorandum? It is all very clear.
It's a pile
Right
of
there.
bills. There isn't a schedule that I saw.
Your Honor, may I speak freely?
Wait just a second, because you guys are ahead of me. I see it's detailed in your pretrial memo, but where are the documents?
They're in there. Every receipt.
I don't have that super check,
They're not attached to it.
but that was her stipulation. I don't have a document, but she told me.
This is what you filed in February?
Yes, I believe so.
It's 5 pages, and it's only your pretrial memo.
And the pretrial memorandum was like this.
Did you drop off a...
I put it in the office in your box. Well, actually, 2 times. It was submitted twice because I had a paralegal doing the work for me, and she submitted it. And then I got a phone call from them saying, not from the paralegal, from the court, from your court here, saying you needed 2 copies instead of just 1 copy or something like this. So I came and brought another copy.
I'm sure they thought they were trial exhibits. That's why they asked you for another copy.
Yeah, so you should have 2 copies
I
now.
don't see where it's logged in, do you? You see where it's logged in? Ms. Cohen, do you have copies of it?
Yes.
Have copies of what she filed? The problem with Donna's house, I figured out what that is. They don't do exchanges Monday at 10 a.m. For, on a temporary basis, it has to be, the drop-off has to be Sunday, no later than 6 p.m., or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 p.m. Those are the dates. They don't do Monday morning, so.
Would it be possible to do a supervised visitation through Donna's house first? I mean, she hasn't been with him for a year, so it's kind of traumatic to throw her back into a weekend that she doesn't want to do anyway.
He's her father. There's no allegations of abuse.
There is allegations of
We've done
abuse.
We've done the therapy, so,
I wasn't able to do Claudia Schwartz, even though I wanted to very much, because he wasn't paying his share.
so the chiropractic for life, there's no name on it.
It's chiropractic for life. It's only Annie Silva goes there. I've
There's
never
no proof
used
that
that.
it's her bill, so you need to
Well, I can
update
get that, no
these.
problem.
Yeah,
I
you
can
need to
I can
update
call her
these.
today and get that.
Okay.
And he knows that that's her, because she was going to chiropractic for life for 3-4 years before he moved out of the house.
In this dental bill,
Yes.
where does it say that it's for her? Oh, Annie.
Yeah.
Okay, saw it.
And sometimes they are combined, and I mark off half of it because
Okay.
the other half is mine. You'll
I'm
see,
just
like,
trying to
it's
help
not, it's
solve
marked
this
off.
problem, that's all.
Absolutely. I am a very honest person, Your Honor. I have never once lied to this court, so everything I say you can...
Is there anything else you had a question about, Ms. Cohen?
Your Honor, frankly, I have not reviewed those with my client because I didn't realize that was going to be part of this.
Well, we're going to have a status. We're going to have a status on this, on the exchanges, so I do need a response.
I'll have my client.
And I need you to, within the next couple of weeks, get the detailed billing from Chiropractic for Life.
Just that it has her name. Okay.
Frank, you can give this back to Ms. Cohen. So, sir, do you want to drop her off Sunday at 6 p.m.? Just for the time being till we get back?
So from Saturday, 10 a.m. to
I had 11.
Sunday, I think that's the time they close, Your Honor.
Yeah.
So I think they require to be there like 45 minutes before.
Okay, so 5 p.m.? Just for the time being?
I'm sorry, Judge. Can you give those exchange times again so I can have that for the order?
Pick up by Dad at Donna's house, 11 a.m. Saturday. And drop off by Dad, 5 p.m. on Sunday.
Is that to start this weekend?
Yes.
You don't find that a little traumatizing for Annie?
I wouldn't be ordering it if I did.
You have no idea.
So you will not stay, you'll drop her off and leave. Again, if this doesn't happen, she's going to spend the entire
That's fine.
summer with him.
That's fine, whatever. You
I
I know you
understand,
don't
so you
care.
have a talk with her.
You have no idea what's going on.
No, and they usually strike them, but usually they log them in if they drop them off, so, yeah. All right, so we need a return date.
Were you able to listen to the 911 calls in the pretrial memorandum? Were you able to listen to
Again, when
those?
I said your documents aren't showing as being logged in,
I don't understand why not.
well, we don't have a trial, number one, so when you submit a pretrial memo, you do have to submit your exhibits separately, but we don't have a trial. And I don't know why.
How can I get those to you so that you can hear the 911
Because
calls?
there has to be an evidentiary hearing. There has to be a trial.
Well, why didn't we have that then? It's important. I mean, you're making decisions for this child's life, and you should know her. You should know her. You should know what has happened in her life.
I'm not a psychologist. That's why I engaged therapeutic services.
I really wanted to go to Claudia Schwartz. I really did. That was the one that I would have chosen, actually. I would have chosen Claudia Schwartz myself,
I would love it if I had free access to these people,
too.
but you have to pay for it. I can't do it.
And I
for
would have
free.
paid for it if he had been paying his child support and alimony like he was supposed to.
I'm going to address that.
That money
when
would
we
have
come
gone
back.
to that.
Whatever arrearages you have, I don't know what they are right now. Okay? We'll address the medical. She's going to provide you with updated within 2 weeks of the chiropractic for life, so you can address the arrearages on medical, and I want a schedule of arrearages you need to file.
That's been filed. That was filed also with the pretrial memorandum and with the
An
DA.
actual schedule of arrears has been filed.
Yeah, I don't think you understand what that form is. Do we have a schedule of arrearages? Do we have a schedule of arrearages? You need to get that
Are
from
you
the
guys not connected with the child support office?
No.
Because that has been filed.
It's not showing up at all. If you just did it 2 weeks ago, it's
Yeah,
not
it was about
showing
2
up.
weeks ago.
Do you have a copy of it?
No.
Maybe you can get a copy of it, so you don't have to do it again,
I'll be happy to do it again. I can do it right now if you want me
and
to.
file it in this case. It's a
Okay.
schedule of arrearages.
Yeah.
It is an affidavit. Okay?
Can I go downstairs and do it?
If you can, file it within the next 2 weeks.
I could file it today.
Up to you. I do need it, though,
Okay.
because your child support case is not even
That was in the
system.
pretrial memorandum. I'm telling you, in that pretrial memorandum, there was a schedule of arrearages in there signed by me and an affidavit, what's it called, notary. It was notarized by the paralegal. It was in those papers.
I believe you, but none of the exhibits,
I know, but doesn't
Are
your
there?
office have those papers somewhere
that's what
still?
I'm going to ask them.
Okay,
I'll
thank
ask
you.
them.
Thank you.
But you still have to file it. The
It was
schedule.
filed already. How many times do I have to file it?
I can show you that only your pretrial memo was filed. Your exhibits never get filed, ever. Your trial exhibits never get filed because they're not in evidence. So if you have a schedule of arrears, file that separately.
Okay.
Your Honor, additionally, plaintiff was, in previous orders, plaintiff was supposed to pay the defendant $800 towards Keisha Wayford's fees. That hasn't been paid.
Maybe an offset if he owes her for medical and child
That's
support.
fine. Just for the record, I wanted to make sure that was clear.
Very good. We'll have a status on that, on the medical expenses. Child support, the amounts that plaintiff may owe could be a potential offset.
Also, the HELOC and the sale of the house.
Yeah, I think she filed one in February, but there's no exhibits. Gotcha. Let me see. September. There were some medical bills filed, Ms. Cohen. She filed a brief September 10th, 2015, with some medical, dental bills attached. Just various things like credit card bills, dental, orthodontic agreement. I don't see the chiropractic in there. And I don't see a schedule of arrearages. I don't know if you have access to the full file. It was September 10th, 2015, she filed some.
I'll look it up, Your Honor. I can get it.
Called her brief in support of August 25th hearing. October.
They do have the 30-30 rule, so I will be reviewing those bills to ensure that they also comply with the 30-30 rule.
That's fine, you can address that. And then I have his quick pay.
I'm sorry?
His quick pay. She filed supplemental exhibits October 23rd. And that might be what she's referring to as a schedule, where she has payments.
There was more, but yeah, that's not what I was referring to, but that is part of it, part of the exhibits of it. Thank you, I appreciate you looking for it.
You thank her. She's looking.
Well, thank you.
She's looking it up for me. Thank you. All right, what's our return date?
60 days or 90?
60. We're going to need a whole hour. You want me to help you? You can take an OST spot. I don't have that many OSTs.
Right. And then we'll take 10 o'clock on July 28th. That's a Thursday?
Mention. Got that date?
At Donna's house.
No, here. Return date.
At 10 o'clock?
Oh, sorry.
July 28th at 10 a.m.?
If visitation doesn't occur before,
And file it on order shortening time. I'll get you in. Any questions?
So I would like a supervised visitation first, because I think it would go better. I just think that he may have more of a chance that way. I mean, even if I leave her, she's
He
going to tell the
understands the
people.
challenge
She's
she's
going to
up
tell the
against.
people that she doesn't want to go, even with them there or not. She went and talked, and I told them when I dropped her off for Donna's house, I said, "Look, take her over there and talk to her. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm tired of being blamed." And they took her around the corner. He came back. The man came back to me and said, "She doesn't have to go." I said, "Okay, but you've documented everything. I did my part, right?" I showed up. He said, "Yes, you're free to go."
I'm asking
Okay.
you to leave. Just leave.
yeah, just
I just thought it maybe
This is
that he has
not
more of a
great
chance,
for
but
Bob.
no, nobody's going to listen to me anyway.
I don't know what Mom's convinced the child of over the last several
Oh,
months.
for goodness sakes.
This is a child
This is so absurd.
Okay. All right.
She makes her own decisions.
These waived. All right, you'll go down and register, please, after this is over.
Your Honor, do you want a finding in today's order that if, that you've taken every therapeutic step you can take, and that if visitation doesn't happen, that you will be making a finding of contempt?
You do have to do an OSC, but that's, I don't see any other step I can take.
I'm still happy to see Claudia Schwartz as soon as he gives me the money to do that.
That's all I can do. Thank you, we're off the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.